Hello everyone, Tina Smith here for Simon Says Stamp. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thanks so much for joining me. Today I'm super excited to share with you a project. We are using the Simon Says Stamp collaboration with Trinity stamps. We're going to be using this fun stamp set. It's called Sledding Gnomes. I love scene building, and I thought we'd create a fun scene, a fun Christmas scene using the sweet little reindeer in the stamp set. We're going to start by doing a little bit of stamping and coloring. I'm going to be using my Copic markers to color in. We're going to stamp these 3 trees and this cute little reindeer. I'm stamping with Memento Tuxedo Black ink because it is alcohol marker friendly, and we're going to use Copic markers to color in our images today. There's 3 different trees that look similar, but they're different sizes. But if at the base of this tree there is some greenery. At the base of this tree, there's a little shrub here. And then this one has a rock. And before we put our ink pad away, I think I'm going to stamp my sentiment also. And I'm going to stamp Warm Winter Wishes on the same piece of cardstock here. Now the markers that I'm going to be using today, let me show you. These are the markers that I'm going to be using today. If you'd like to jot those down for reference. I'm going to zoom in. I will play a little bit of music while I color, and when I'm done coloring, I will get you back. My coloring is all done. Now what we're going to do is take some scissors, and we are going to fussy cut each one of our elements out. And we're going to leave a little bit of a white border. When I fussy cut my trees out, I did leave a little bit of white area underneath them because we're going to create snowbanks for them, and I'd like to do a little bit of tucking with them. So we're going to put these off to the side, and then we're going to do a little bit more die cutting. Today we're going to make a landscape style card, and I'm using the Simon Says Stamp Nested Round Hearts die set. We're going to use the largest one in the die set. And I'm going to die cut out 2 white hearts. And then I have some pale blue cardstock. We're going to die cut out a heart and the pale blue. Now here's a little tidbit. If you want to die cut out a heart using a large die, just so you don't waste the rest of your paper, center it on, this is an A2 panel, so it's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. If you center it, you can always use the negative piece as a window for another card project. This way there's no waste. So I'll run both of these white ones and one of the blue ones through my die cut machine, and I'll be right back. So my hearts are die cut out. What I'm going to do next is take some scissors, and I'm going to create some snowbanks on the very bottom. Of both of these. So now my snowbanks we can layer on the heart here, and we still have that heart shape, which is wonderful. Before we create our scene, I'm going to bring in a piece of red cardstock and the Simon Says Stamp Outline Merry Christmas background. I want a subtle background for my card today, and this works perfect for that. It has an outline of Merry Christmas. I'm going to bring in my stamping positioner. What I like to do is add a little bit of adhesive on the reverse side. I remove my mouse pad here. And since we have adhesive on this side, we're going to take our panel that has the powder on it, put it face down where we want it on our background stamp. And then I'll take the back of my MISTI and we'll pick it up. We're kind of doing it kind of backwards, but this way I know exactly where my panel is going to be. I'm going to use my Versamark ink pad, and we're going to go over our background. Now this is very subtle. I'm going to bring in some clear embossing powder. I'm going to go over my background with some clear embossing powder. This is just going to create a tone on tone. Let me flip it around here. And I'm going to go ahead and melt the embossing powder. My background is nice and melted. We have that tone on tone look. I went ahead and used the towel to wipe away the anti-static powder that was left over on it. I'm going to flip this around. We're going to use adhesive, and we're going to attach this to a standard side folding A2 size card base. Now we get to create our scene. We're going to start by just using, I'm going to pop this up with some foam tape, but I'm going to use this as a reference. And then I already put adhesive behind my largest tree. We're going to tuck this in. We have our largest tree placed. I'm going to take our largest snowbank. We're going to flip this around. I'm going to bring in some foam squares. And we're going to add some dimension behind our snowbank. And then we're going to tack this down at the very bottom, following along the curve of that heart. I went ahead and lined up my second tree. I have a little bit of overhanging over here, so I'm going to use my scissors and trim away this. Now that we know this is perfectly placed, we're going to flip this around, and I'm going to add some foam squares behind here. For my third tree, we're going to go ahead and trim away that bottom area, and we're going to go ahead and tack this down. I doubled up on the foam tape, and then I put some adhesive at the very bottom that we trimmed off, and we're going to add our third tree here. I'm going to go ahead and take my greeting, and we're going to put some foam tape behind here as well. And I'm going to place this greeting along the bottom of the heart here. Let's go ahead and add our reindeer. I'm going to flip this panel around, and then we're going to add some adhesive behind here. We're going to tack this right in the middle of our card. And I will round both corners at the very top. And then for a little sparkle on the reindeer's collar, I'm going to use my gold stickles. And last but not least, I'm going to bring in some red confetti sequins. And we're going to add a little extra sparkle in our background. Wonderful. And that finishes my card today. Today we used the collaboration stamp set for Simon Says Stamp and Trinity Stamps. I hope this gives you a little bit of inspiration. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a fabulous day. Bye-bye.
I'm Heidi, Simon's mama and founder at SimonsSaysStamp.com. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you like what you just saw, be sure to press the thumbs up and subscribe to see more great content.